Hello, boys and girls. Happy Monday. Happy another week of virtual learning. And we are actually going to talk about our last historical document. If you remember, we started off talking about the Declaration of Independence, which is where we really broke off from Great Britain. Then we decided once we won the Revolutionary War, we needed to make a government and laws, so we created the Constitution. And the last really important document is kind of part of the Constitution, which is called the Bill of Rights. A couple of vocab words that we really need to keep in mind with the Bill of Rights are these couple of terms that you'll see on your screen right now. The first one is James Madison. You probably have heard his name come up before. He's often seen as the father of the Constitution. A lot of his ideas went into the U.S. Constitution. And he promised that there would be a Bill of Rights added to the Constitution. It was really important that many of the new Americans and the Founding Fathers wanted a Bill of Rights because they didn't want to have what happened with King George happen again. They wanted to protect their rights no matter what. He also ended up being our fourth president. Majority rule is a word or phrase you're going to hear come up with the Bill of Rights. Okay, it means that the greatest number of people in the society can make the policies for everyone. So here's an example. I say, okay, boys and girls, in social studies class, I'm going to bring in ice cream. Let's vote. Majority rules. Okay, who wants chocolate? 10 people raise their hands. Who wants vanilla? 11 people raise their hands. Majority rules. What ice cream am I bringing in? Vanilla. Okay, a petition means you can make a request to the government. A search warrant is usually some type of piece of paper that gives permission for people like police officers or law enforcement to search your property or your house. Due process is a word you're going to see come up with the Bill of Rights, and that is meaning that the laws must be fairly applied to everyone. A couple other terms is double jeopardy. You may have heard of Jeopardy, like the TV show, but that is not what double jeopardy means when we're talking about the Bill of Rights. It means that you can't be tried for the same crime twice, okay? So, tried mean a trial. You can't go to trial for the same crime that you committed. And eminent domain, that sometimes comes up with when the government sometimes takes property for the benefit of the public. Maybe they need to build a hospital, okay, or things like that. Okay, let's look at the First Amendment. The First Amendment is probably one of the most popular amendments we hear about in society because it has a lot in it. But first of all, James Madison compiled the list of amendments that he thought should be in the Bill of Rights. I think the original number was like 30-something amendments, okay? And let's talk about what an amendment is. To amend something means make a change. So we have the Constitution. It's as good as it can be, but it was written in the 1700s. We're in 2020. Have things changed? Yeah. And right away, they made 10 changes, okay, which are the Bill of Rights, to the Constitution. At first, James Madison narrowed that list from 30 down to 12 to send it to Congress. Remember, Congress is the branch of our government that makes up our laws. And 10 of them were ratified by the states. To ratify means approve. So now we have 10 amendments already to the Constitution, which are the Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights are rights that all citizens, if you're a U.S. citizen, you're guaranteed and you're protected. The First Amendment gives citizens specific freedoms: freedom of religion, speech, press, assembly, and petition, okay? All of these are really important, especially religion, because a lot of people came from Europe to the Americas looking for religious freedom, and they wanted to protect that when they were creating their new government. Amendments 2, 3, and 4 were really kind of all because of everything that happened with Great Britain, okay, that dispute that they had. So they wanted to make sure that those things didn't happen again inside the United States. The Second Amendment is the right to bear arms, okay? And what does that mean? Not bear arms like your arm doesn't have anything on it, not like a bear, like an animal. That means that you have the right of a certain age to have a weapon, okay? This was really important in case Great Britain tried to come back and take them over. They really wanted to have something to defend themselves. The Third Amendment is no quartering of soldiers. Quartering means that a soldier can't knock on your door and say, hey, I'm staying here, I need a place to stay. Okay, it doesn't happen like that, but it did happen before the Revolution. The Fourth Amendment is no unwanted search or seizure. That means that they need a warrant to prove why they need to search or look in your house. But again, all those things happened with King George, so they really wanted to protect themselves from that. Amendments 5 through 8. I'm just going to go over these briefly. 5 through 8 are probably the trickiest for you guys to understand. They all have to do with going to court, okay, or trial. The Fifth Amendment says that someone cannot be punished without due process. That means that all the laws still need to be upheld when you commit a crime. There's certain things and rights that you have. The Sixth Amendment is that you have a right to a speedy trial. It can't be a trial that's dragged out for years and years and years. It should be as quick as possible to be tried for that crime. And the seventh one is a jury by your peers. If you ever have heard that your parents have had to maybe do jury duty, okay, that's where you as a citizen could be called to be on a jury for someone who's on trial. The Eighth Amendment allows for bail. That means that there could be a certain amount of money set for someone to either get out of jail or something like that. But then this other part of the Eighth Amendment is really, really important. No cruel or unusual punishment. Okay? That means that the punishment has to fit the crime. I'll give you an example. You take one of my pencils out of my classroom, and I say, that's it. You don't have recess for the rest of the year. Is that a little cruel and unusual for the crime that was committed? And by crime, I just mean you took my pencil. Yeah. Okay. So maybe I just might say, hey, you know what? For the rest of the week, you can't use my pencil because you weren't responsible with it. Does that make a little more sense? Yeah. Okay, the Ninth and 10th Amendments, they're kind of interesting ones because there are cover-all. In case we didn't add this in, citizens get these rights. The Ninth Amendment is the rights listed in the Constitution are not the only rights citizens have. So we have other rights, like if I have the right to wear my hair in a ponytail, can I do that? Yeah, I have that right. Okay, I have the right, if I want to get an Apple phone. I can't be told, you have to get a Samsung phone. Mr. B would say that. No, I have the right to choose what phone I want to choose. And finally, the 10th Amendment has to do with the separation of powers. It means states have any powers that aren't promised to the federal government. And if you remember in the Constitution, we broke up those three branches. So if there were any powers not listed in there for the federal government, which is our national government, the states get those powers. Certain things like how schools are run, okay, and things like that. Now, boys and girls, I'm going to make my video just a little bit bigger here because now it is up to you to create this foldable. Okay, everybody look at it right here. It was a whole piece of paper, and all you need to do is cut along the edge. Be a little careful because it's a little uneven, so cut all the way around the edge. Then you're going to take the one side, fold it in so then it's showing the amendments. Fold the other side in so it's showing the amendments. And then you're going to go through, just like we've done in class many, many times, and cut in between each one that says amendment. Okay? So you get something that looks like that. Okay? Cut each one of those. Make sure you cut, that you open it up before you cut it. Otherwise, you're going to cut the whole thing. Then you're going to open up the tab. You'll see a picture there, and you can either use this video, you can go back in the video, but I'm also going to attach another slideshow, and you need to tell me what the First Amendment is. Write it right there on that line. Okay. The other video I want you guys to watch is a Disney Bill of Rights, and it lists the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments. And it shows some Disney clips of kind of them showing it. It's a really great video for you guys to watch. Then you're going to open the second one. Oh, it looks like they're soldiers and they have weapons. Oh, the Second Amendment is the right to bear arms. So you're going to write that right in there. The very back, boys and girls, has just a little bit of the Constitution, okay? And the Constitution says, give me some fun facts. Give me 3 fun facts about the Constitution. You can tell me where it was written, when it was written, who it was written by, any of those things. Or if you want to do a little extra research and find it, you can do that, okay? All right, boys and girls, if you have any questions, please, as always, let me know.